Alright, I saw this video and I wanted to react to it. So, let's react to it.
There is something so fucking weird happening with men and dating, and I know that it is an epidemic that is widespread because my friends and I have been talking about it. Let me break it down for you. So, over the past calendar year alone, all right, I have had not one, not two, multiple men reach out to me, engage with me, show interest in me, give me their number, be like, we should go on a date. I'm like, okay, let's go on a date. Let's kiki. Crickets. Silence. Hello? Knocking. Are you there? Because what do you mean? And it's not that I take this personally or as a form of rejection, because I'm like, you don't know me, so there's nothing to reject. Like, we haven't even gotten to that point. It's okay. Also, I've decentered men in my life. Thank you, therapy. I also derive very little validation from what men think of me, but it's the wasting the time of it all. If you don't want to go on a date, that's okay. Then don't say, let's go on a date, and then when we try to plan it, you don't reply. And it's happened again and again where I'm getting to the point where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And my friends are having this problem too. Some of them are having it with guys from dating apps. I'm having it with like guys I'm meeting in real life. There was this guy who he, again, reached out to me, followed me, did all the things, and then stopped responding. And I saw him in real life and he came up to me and was like, oh my God, hi, how are you? Well, I don't know, babe. Maybe if you would reply to my message, then you would know how I am, but you haven't. What? You're weird. You're a freak. I'm so confused. And it's like, maybe my Capricorn Venus, not to always bring it back to a place of astrology, but I'm just like, what is with the games? Are you just bored? Do you just want attention? I can understand how you would derive validation from me giving you attention, because I'm a catch. I have great taste, which is what kind of pisses me off, that I gave you a bit of attention and then you do this with it. My beautiful princesses, we just don't deserve this. What is happening? There is something so fucking weird.
The ego. Okay, let's break this down.
Happening with men and dating, and I know that it is an epidemic that is widespread because my friends and I have been talking about it. Let me break it down for you. So, over the past calendar year alone, all right, I have had not one, not two, multiple men reach out to me, engage with me, show interest in me, give me their number, be like, we should go on a date. I'm like, okay, let's go on a date. Let's kiki. Crickets. Silence. Hello?
This is the thing, right? It's not an epidemic. It's not. You know, this is the thing, right? It's not widespread in sense that most men don't do this, right? But here's the thing where the insanity of women, right? So she's saying that she's talked to multiple men, right? They get to the about to go on the date part, and then it stops, it goes, it disappears, right? These men disappear. Here's the thing where women don't understand. Okay? These men, during the process of, you know what, planning a date or talking and all this shit, these men, and I'm probably going to talk about more a little bit later, but these men find out that these women, her and her friends, they have no value. They're nothing special, right? They find out that these women are not worth the time. You think about this, men in general want women. Most to all men want women, right? Besides for the, you know, the gay ones. Most men want women. Period. They want women. They want to spend time with women. They want to, you know, have sex with women, right? And they want continuous sex with women, and they want to spend time with women. They want relationships from women. Most to all men want that, okay? So, and I can say this, right? For most men, getting dates, getting a chance to get a girl, it's not easy. It's not, right? I mean, the only way it's easy, but maybe not totally easy, is the top percent of men, okay? But still, it's not the most easiest thing. So, what does it say that, okay, if a man would literally ignore or not even bother with talking to certain women, is that they find no value in continuing it. There's nothing worth it. So these women, her and her friends, well, they're vapid. They're not worth the time. They're not worth the time and effort from these men. Because you gotta think, dating is an effort for men, right? And it's a losing effort a lot of times, and it's a costly effort. Okay? It's not like she's saying, "Oh, I'll pay for those dates." No, these men will have to pay for these dates. So, if a man has to pay for these dates, he wants to, it has to be worth it. It has to be worth his time. And so, her and her friends, well, they don't make it worth their time. They're not worth it. This woman is average looking, which is crazy what she said at the end, because she's average. She's a 5, if that, right? But at best, she's a 5. So that's the insanity.
Knocking, are you there? Because what do you mean? And it's not that I take this personally or as a form of rejection, because I'm like, you don't know me, so there's nothing to reject. Like, we haven't even gotten to that point.
I think she takes it as a form of rejection, right? The ego at the end, right? Women that has that kind of ego, it is a form of rejection to them. Oh, you're not giving me attention? You're not wanting me? Oh, because I'm amazing. I can't believe you don't want me.
It's okay. Also, I've decentered men in my life. Thank you, therapy. I also derive very little validation from what men think of me, but it's the wasting the time of it all. If you don't want to go on a date, that's okay. Then don't say, let's go on a date, and then when we try to plan it, you don't reply. And it's...
How's it... You know what? This is the thing, right? How is it truly wasting your time? Okay? These men are actually not wasting your time. Because you think about this. How about you go on multiple dates and then it leads nowhere? That's a waste of time. These men, they talk to you, right? They think, okay, let's plan a date. But they talk to you some more. And they figure out, you know what? This woman is not worth it. The possible future of this isn't worth it. So really, these men are saving you time. Because this is the thing. No one can get to know someone like that, right? Just looking at someone, you don't just know someone just by looking, okay? So you spend the time. You most likely, right? How I assume it is that these men are actually talking to them, right? On the phone, texting, all the shit before the date. And they find out, you know what? These women suck. These women are not worth the time. I don't want to see if I have a future with these women. So they're actually not wasting your time.
It's happened again and again where I'm getting to the point where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And my friends are having this problem too. Some of them are having it with guys from dating apps. I'm having it with like guys I'm meeting in real life. There was this guy who he, again, reached out to me, followed me, did all the things, and then stopped responding, and I saw him in real life, and he came up to me and was like, oh my god, hi, how are you? Well, I don't know, babe. Maybe if you would reply to my message, then you would know how I am, but you haven't. What?
I mean, that's the thing, right? And you can tell why she's, it hurt her ego. Because these men don't even register with these women, right? Like, oh, you know what? How he reacted, he didn't even think about her. He's like, he was over it. That's how, you know what? How little of an impact she made in his life, right? He didn't care. He didn't care to spend any time with her. He's like, you know what? You're not worth it. You're not worth my time. He was being nice when he greeted her later on when he saw her again. But obviously, in his eyes, she wasn't worth his time.
You're weird. You're a freak. I'm so confused. And it's like, maybe my Capricorn Venus, not to always bring it back to a place of astrology, but I'm just like...
This is the thing, right? Into astrology and therapy. That's the thing with women. It's like, you are, right? A lot of women are just so unhinged, right? They're so insane. They're so annoying, so chaotic to deal with.
What is with the games? Are you just bored? Do you just want attention?
Is it games? That's the thing, right? With women calling these things games, it's not game because it's not a back and forth thing, right? It's not like he's not playing games with you, because men that would play games, he would continue this farce of trying to get with you. It's not a game. He's actually I honestly believe these men are being gentlemen. These men are being upfront. Where, you know what? Although they're not being direct, that's the thing. They're not being direct. But these men see that, you know what? I don't want to waste your time. I definitely don't want to waste my time. So it's over. I move on. I'm not talking anymore. Ghosting, not the best. You know, you better off you be direct. But you know, younger generation, that's what they're gonna do, right? They're gonna ghost you. But again, he's not playing a game, right? He's not wasting time. He's just he doesn't want to waste either times, and he doesn't want to play this game. So he left.
I can understand how you would derive validation from me giving you attention, because I'm a catch. I have great taste, which is what kind of pisses me off that I gave.
That's the thing, right? With a lot of women, thinking that there's, I can, you know, let me shoot this out, right? Because I'm amazed by this. How any woman, right, that's single, can think that they're amazing, a great catch, as this woman is alluding to. Yet, you're such a great catch. Yet, no man wants to catch it. Right? And she said it time and time again. These men are not following through on dates with her. How great are you when none of these men see any value in you? Right? So this is the self-inflated ego of a lot of women. Because this is the flaw of dating, right? For women is that because men want to have sex with you, women think they're amazing, think they're a great catch. Because there are men that would definitely want to tap her, right? Definitely want to have sex with her. So in her mind, it's like, oh, all these men want to have sex with me. All these DMs are thirsty for me. I must be a great catch. I know I'm a great catch. Yet, when given the chance, right? Relationships or possible dates, none of these relationships last, and none of these dates happen. Says to me that you're not that great. Says to me that that there's no value in being with you. You're not worth it. So really, the ego on these women are quite amazing.
You a bit of attention, and then you do this with it. My beautiful princesses, we just don't deserve this. What is happening? There is something so fun.
That's why I think women are insane. Absolutely. There's another video that's a stitch to this. So, is it this one?
Multiple men?
There's a video that's stitched to this. She asked a question. I figured, why not combine it?
Reach out to me. Engage with me. Show interest in me. Give me their number. Be like, we should go on a date. I'm like, okay, let's go on a date. Let's kiki. Crickets. Silence. Hello? Knocking. Are you there?
All right, this is for the men and the men only. So if you're a woman, just scroll on by. I have a very important question that I want to ask the men. If this is you, if you are a single man who is dating, I want to know what is getting in the way of you forming connections with people that you seemingly want to get to know. So this creator is essentially saying that
that's the thing where women seem to not understand, right? Men, initial, I don't know, reaction is on looks. So I'm saying the girl is okay. She's average, right? So these men, you know, they find her okay, attractive, I guess. You know, not terrible. So they give her their number and shit like that. But to form a connection is that there's none. These women, like I said, are vapid. They are one-dimensional. The other woman, right? The stitch from this, you can see her personality, right? The insanity. She is like so mentally unhinged. She needs a therapist. She needs help. The astrology craziness of women, and you can see her actions. What man wants to deal with that? What man wants a relationship with that? So really, this is the thing what women don't understand. Okay, men will want to sleep with you based on your looks, or they want to deal with you based on your looks. But men will only want to stay with you or be in a relationship with you based on your personality, right? Looks can only go so far. Okay, men will continuously deal with you right? Because of your looks. But men will want to make an effort, right? Because of your personality, right? True effort, like true long-term commitment because of the personality, because of who you are inside. And a lot of these women, they're terrible on the inside, right? So the last woman, she's average on the outside and seems terrible on the inside. So really, no duh that none of these men wanted to form any kind of long-term bond with her.
There are men who will engage with women, but then not even get past the talking stage. They actually disappear. And if you're that guy, I want to know a little bit more about you. And I ask from a really genuine place. And
this is the thing, right? You gotta think. So I thought that last woman was average. So they didn't get past this talking stage. Let's say for the last woman, right? She is so average, nothing special. So for dating for men is an investment. He has to pay for the dates, right? Pick her up or whatever. Spend that time, make that effort. Men gotta think, this woman is average, nothing special. She doesn't impress me, from a personality standpoint. Her looks are average. So, thinking logically, should I make that effort? Or should I continue to make that effort? Right? Going on dates, getting dates, making dates, right? No. It's not worth it. It's not worth paying for a date with a woman that, you know what, I find to be mediocre. That's the thing. Right? Dating, men, modern day men, a lot of men nowadays, they are getting smarter and smarter. Men are more wise to the situation. Men are just not going to do free dates, right? Men are just not going to be your meal ticket. Men have more value in themselves. More and more nowadays. I'm saying, as time goes on, more and more men see more value in themselves, right? That they don't want to waste time. They don't want to waste their time. And they don't want to play the games, right? They don't want to play these games. And they don't want to waste their time, waste your time, and especially waste their money. Because why am I going to waste my money on a woman that, you know what? I'm going to have to change her mind into liking me, or she's not that valuable, not that worth it, or I just don't see a good future with her initially. So, yeah.
A background in research and policy analysis. I've always been so curious about what's going on in the systems that we live in, the policies, the climate that we're in, that actually influence and radically impact the relationships that we have. Some people will call you avoidant because of it, and sure, maybe there's some truth in that, but there's a reason behind your avoidant behavior. There's also a reason why we're seeing an uptick in avoidant behavior, not just among men, but also among women. In my last job, I was in customer insights, and one of the things that we found out at this fintech was that people were obviously pushing their milestones for buying a home, getting married, and having kids much later in life, and this is all before the pandemic. Now, the pandemic really threw a wrench in that timeline. If anything, it sort of slowed things down for everybody. And the people who really feel that more than ever are the women, because we have what we call a biological clock, right? So one of the theories I have is that the men are feeling incredibly challenged in the current climate that we're in, socioeconomically speaking, right? The idea of being able to be a provider, make money, be really present with their family, that's not something that's happening or possible in your 20s or even in your 30s. So without blaming women or other people, I want to know, as a straight single man, what is making dating sort of the last thing on your to-do list, or the last thing on your list of priorities?
That's the thing, right? I don't think dating is the last thing on men's to-do list. I don't. What I do think is that men are valuing themselves more, right? Men are valuing themselves more. Here's a comment I see. If I have to put effort in the front end and prove myself before I'm allowed reciprocity, right? Reciprocity. I'm terrible with words, right? Return on my investment, I'll lose interest. Many women don't seem as interested as we are, right? I've seen this before, and that's why I say, right? Here's my own personal quote. It is harder to make a woman to like you, right? To prove to a woman. I mean, damn it, I'm terrible with this. Like, it is harder to get a woman to like you than to just nurture the like, right? Oh God, is that I did that wrong, right? It's just hard. Like for when it comes to women, their dating scene is like you got to prove yourself to them. That's the thing, right? You got to change the mind of a woman. You got to make her like you, right? You got to change her mind because she is testing you out. She's making you prove yourself to her. So it is harder for you to try to change her mind into liking you than if she already liked you before the date. She's like she wanted you, she wanted to go on a date, she wanted to check when are you guys going to go on a date, right? She already liked you. So it is easier to foster that feeling, right? The already liked you feeling than it is to make her actually like you after the date, right?
Priorities. What is demotivating you? What is motivating you? What is making you feel powerless? What is making you feel good? Tell me in the comments below. Let's talk more about it because
I mean, I would like to hear you guys' thoughts too, right? I mean, comment. I'm more saying that, right? Like I said, right? I think more and more men are valuing themselves more, right? Valuing their time and especially valuing their money, valuing their effort as well. Okay, so many men, like a comment I said, right? Men are putting so much effort throughout since dating has started, right? Men are the ones to put the effort in when it comes to dating, especially in the beginning. And a lot of men find it like, you know what? It is not a good investment to put so much effort into maybe she likes you. When you see another guy where, let's say the players, the bad boys, or whatever, right? The Chads, Tyrones, they put zero effort, and women already want them, already want to sleep with them the first night, right? That's the thing. Well, a lot of men are waking up to it. Like they see it, that you know what? There are men out there that put zero effort in, and yet women would still sleep with these men on the first night. Will still entertain these men, right? Will still like these men. Will still want to be with these men. While there's other men, and I would say the majority of men, have to put in so much effort, right? Have to be the gentleman, have to be respectful, have to plan the date, have to pay for the date, have to push the conversation of the date along and all that shit. Have to put in a lot of effort. And who knows if it will pay off at the end of the date, let alone, subsequent, in the subsequent time. So that's the thing. A lot of women seem to not understand. It's not men putting valuing date less. It's that men are valuing themselves more, right? Men want to date. Men want to go. Men want to have a partner, right? Men are not the most happiest alone, right? Statistics have showed, but men also value peace, the peace of mind of like not, going through this hardship that is dating. So what do? They're gonna value their time, value themselves more. So if they talk to a woman and they want to plan the date and stuff, but she's not showing any interest before the date, right? Not showing you any kind of love or any kind of attention or anything. Well, a man's gonna see, I'm not gonna even bother. Because this woman it's already off to a bad start where she doesn't even care if we go on a date, right? She doesn't even care. She doesn't even care to remember my name, shit like that. So, yeah, men are just valuing themselves more.